Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here tonight to discuss the Cabo Six, one of the Cabo Six that was involved in this horrendous act. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for returning. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we're live right now. And we have questions and we need answers. We have questions and we need answers. Okay. When I got the news today that Daejanae was in federal custody, I was warm. And I was warm because it's like I know justice is going to be a process. And I understand that, you know, time time is of the essence. But when we think about it, when we really get down and think about it, let's think about the justice that her family is going to get and, you know, the time where we will, get the story of what happened, their version of what they're going to give the police, right? So, when I say that I'm excited that she's getting justice, I mean just that. Dejanay, Nazir has already spoken and he said what he said and he did what he did, right? You were there. You put your hands on this beautiful, talented Black queen, and justice will be served. Justice will be served. I don't wish any bad on you. I don't wish, any malicious intent because that's not my goal. My goal is to get to the bottom of the story and really figure out what was y'all's intention. Why did you have to do her like that? And now you're going to have to answer to the authorities. You know that when you were out scoping and trying to get cash apps for interviews, you know, yeah. And what you failed to realize was we've already lost so many sisters to heinous crimes such as these viral moments that are not happy moments. These are not the moments that we wanted to capture. I'm pretty sure in a million years, their parents didn't think that this was the attention that their child would get in this way. So, what do Tamala Horsford, Shanquella Robinson, and Kanika Jenkins have in common? All three of these women were unalive in the company of people they trusted. Let's talk about it. Everybody needs to pay what they owe. When you talk about the extortion, it goes way deep. When you talk about somebody physically putting their hands on someone, it's a whole nother ball game. Going back and forth and having words is totally different than wailing off on someone. And she's going to get everything that she deserves. But like I said, I don't encourage any violence. That's what we don't do. And on that note, we have people in the chat. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will be right back. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Goddess Tulsa Show. Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now is the time to go ahead and get ready for the show. We have some great news for you. Okay? We're going to have a great time. So I really, really, really appreciate you and your dedication to showing up. Gratitude. Don't be afraid to hit that cash app. And don't forget to smash the like button. Please don't forget to hit that like button and make sure you share, please. If you're a new subscriber, please subscribe to our membership. Everybody that's in here, subscribe to our memberships. Okay. Now, let's get into this. There was an important article that I ran past, and this was a warning in August. It actually happened on August the 13th, 2022 at 2:22 p.m. It was published. And pretty much this article reads, drug gangs unleash violence in northern Mexican cities. Tijuana, Mexico, the Mexico border cities of Tijuana and Mexicali, along with Rosarito and Ensenada, were hit by gang violence that included vehicles being set ablaze and road blockades. The U.S. consulate in Tijuana instructed its employees to shelter in place until further notice. Around midnight, because of late Friday's violence, it was the third time this week Mexican cities have been widespread arson and shooting by drug cartels. The gangs appeared to be targeting stores, vehicles, and innocent bystanders in response to dispute or attempts to capture gang members. Baja California state officials said a total of 24 vehicles had been hijacked and burned at different points throughout the state. 15 in Tijuana, 3 in Rosarito, and 2 each in Mexicali, Ensenada, and Tecate. Tijuana Mayor Montserrat Calabro blamed it on disputes between drug gangs and asked them to stop the violence. Calabro issued a public appeal to organized crime, term used in Mexico for drug cartels to stop growing trend of targeting innocent civilians. Today, we are saying the organized crime groups that are committing these crimes that Tijuana is going to remain open and take care of its citizens, Calabro said in a video. And we also asked them to settle their debts with those who didn't pay what they owe, not with families and hardworking citizens. The extent of the violence was still unclear Saturday, late Friday. The U.S. Consulate General in Tijuana said in a statement that it is aware of reports of multiple vehicle fires, roadblocks, and heavy police activity in Tijuana, Mexicali, Rosarito, Ensenada, and Tecate. On Saturday, few people ventured out on the streets in Tijuana, and many of the bus and passenger van services stopped running, leaving some residents unable to get where they were going. Let them fight it out among themselves, but leave us alone, said Tijuana resident Blanca Estela Funetes as she looked for some means of public support. So they unalive each other. So they unalive each other. They can do whatever they want, but the public bus and van routes had resumed service. The Federal Public Safety Department said one person was wounded in the violence and that federal, state, and local forces had detained 17 suspects, including 7 in Tijuana and 4 in each Rosarito and Mexicali. It was said some of the suspects had been identified as members of Jalisco cartels, a group blamed for burning stores and unaliving people earlier this week in the states of Jalisco and Guatemala. The area around Tijuana, which borders Southern California, is a lucrative drug trafficking corridor long dominated by the Arellano Felix cartel, but which has since become a battleground between various gangs, including the Jalisco and Sinaloa cartels. The mayor's comment about Tijuana remaining open was an apparent reference to the border city of Ciudad Juarez across El Paso, Texas, where some classes and public events were canceled after similar violence on Thursday. Alleged gang members unalived 9 people, including 4 employees of a radio station in Ciudad Juarez after a fight between rival gangs at a local prison left 2 inmates unalived. On Tuesday, drug cartel gunmen burned vehicles, businesses in the western states of Jalisco and Guatemala in to an attempt to arrest high-ranking cartel leader of Jalisco cartel. Oxco, a national chain of convenience stores owned by FEMSA, the country's largest bottling company, said 25 of its stores in Guatemala, which borders Jalisco, home to the cartel of the same name, were either totally or partially burned Tuesday. Speaking about the Ciudad Juarez violence Thursday, President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said they attacked a civilian innocent population like a sort of revenge. It wasn't a just a clash between two groups, but it got to the point where they began to unalive civilians, innocent people. That is the most unfortunate thing in this affair for employees of the mega radio station who were broadcasting live promotional event outside a pizza store in Ciudad Juarez were unalive in the shootings. Such random violence is not without precedent in Mexico. In June of last year, a rival faction of the Gulf Cartel entered the border city of Reynosa and unalived 14 people. The governor identified as innocent citizens. The military responded and unalived 4 suspected gunmen. So listen, when we talk about, armed forces over there and, military forces, where are they? Where are they in these critical moments and times? You know, someone wrote 7 days ago, historically and culturally, Mexico experiences a lot of violence against women. They classify crimes as femicides to indicate it's a unalivement of a woman. It's really part of a larger social justice movement to keep the pressure on law enforcement to treat crimes against women as a priority. Daejanae Jackson is a cisgender woman. She's a biological woman. The fact that people were fooled by that poorly done Photoshop is embarrassing. I really wish y'all would do the barest minimum of research before making these posts. Because there was like an outcry, there was an outpour of, a distraction on the story. And I do agree with that person. So without further ado, I really, really hope that justice is definitely served right away, with this story. Okay, so I do want to say that we definitely want to keep the we want to keep her memory and her name alive in any and everything that we do. We don't want to lose sight of our end goal, and our end goal is justice. Our end goal is justice, you know? And so really I want you all to take everything really serious. We see this happening all the time. We have to stand up when something is wrong. We have to show up. Let's stay on the gas on this. Let's not talk about it because it's popular. Everybody involved should be held accountable. And on that note, that concludes our show. I want you all to take the time to drop off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions. And I definitely want to thank you all for coming by. I'm your host, Queen Tulsa. This is the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. And this concludes our show. Good night. Thank you all so much for supporting Queen Tulsa, the show, whether it's a like, a share, a subscribe, a Cash App, a PayPal, or a Zelle. Thank you for coming by and watching the show. And this is your commercial for being acknowledged for just being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you,